What is going on, everybody? Corang15 here, back with another Tellonym talk video, and I'm very, very sorely behind on these, so we're going to try and rapid fire some of these. I am going to keep them at 10 questions per video, just because that's how I'm going to do it. It doesn't really matter how fast they take, but anyway, let's get started. If you hear any noises in the background, I'm currently making food, because I have more starter to do, and I may as well eat, recording this. And yeah, the Tellonym videos, I don't really care what I'm doing during them. I'm just talking the whole time. Whereas like with the game videos or with the streams, it's like, hey, I need to focus and like, you know, have my manners. But on these, I don't really care. All right, let's go. Are there any disadvantages to being famous? Absolutely. Obviously, you have the positives of like having money, being well known, having a bunch of friends and everything like that. But as far as like, depending on who you are and like how you're famous or why you're famous, it's really hard to have a normal life. Like I can't tell you how many like TikToks or how many Instagram reels I've seen of people trying to go into like a Dunkin' Donuts to get their breakfast, and they just get idolized because people recognize them. That I would get so annoyed with that. I would purposely, if I was an actor, I would purposely look like a different person in multiple movies, but after the movie is shot, I will look like somebody else. Like my real self will never be how I look in a movie. Like that's how I would do it. Yeah, it's, you know, I think for some people that are being famous, and I think that's what brings the beauty of like the Midwest of everything, is because there's not a whole lot to do out there. So like an actor from Hollywood like Tom Cruise, he could probably walk into this mom and pop shop in like Topeka or Wichita in Kansas and like for a little while like feel normal for once, which that would, you know, that's the kind of, you know, things like that. I definitely do think do the positives outweigh the negatives? It just depends on who you are. Like some people thrive on being famous. I don't think I would not want to be famous whatsoever. I mean, and even if I ever do get famous, I wouldn't let it go to my head on the aspect of I don't want to be that person. So I'm just like, hey, hold on. There you go. So I'm just like, hey, I may be a name now, but I'm still like the guy I used to be. So all that kind of stuff. Also, when you hear about people that get famous that grew up in a small circle and they just kind of leave that small circle behind, that's no fun. That's no fun at all. What do you think about people with a ton of piercings? I mean, I don't really care. I've wanted to get my ears pierced for years now, and I just have never done it. I don't know if I'll do it now, but I still want to, because I think it'd be kind of cool to walk around with like some kind of flaunting, like nice, you know, gemstone earrings or whatever. I've seen some people that really overdo. I mean, listen, if you're like a super piercy person and you like have piercings all over your body, that's a bunch of like things you have to take care of on your own, and I just feel like that'd be a headache over time, and you know, all the risk and the chances of infections. I don't know how I would feel about anything like that. You know, but to each their own. If you have piercings or have a lot of them, that's fine. I don't care. Like, now if my girlfriend, like if I was dating and if my girlfriend had a lot of piercings or wanted to get a lot of piercings, I would hope she'd talk to me about it first before she just goes and does it. One of the biggest scars in the relationship I had with my ex-wife is we got into a fight one day while we were playing Fortnite. I don't even remember what the fight was about, but we got into an argument over stuff, and it was really bad. And you know, I just didn't want to talk to her for a little while. So, but in the time it took for me to like, you know, open up and, you know, apologize and everything like that again, she the next day went and got a tattoo on her arm. And she had told me prior that she's wanted to get a tattoo. And I told her, let's wait on that and focus on other things. We will get a tattoo later if like we can live together, because I want to be there for it, because it's going to be a good moment for her. And she went and did it, without even telling me. And to this day, it is a grudge I still hold against her. It is just a grudge I hold against her because she did it. Like, listen, you need to tell you, like, when it comes to life-altering things like piercings and tattoos, I don't care what fight or, like, what kind of disagreements you're having in the relationship, even if it's rocky and rough, you tell your freaking partner. Like, you tell them. You do not go behind their back and do something to yourself that they don't know of. That is something I hate in people. Do not ever do that, especially to me. I hate that. But let's move on before I get angry. Are there books you've read twice? Which ones? This is question 3, right? Yeah, it's question 3. Are there books you've read twice? I've read Little House on the Big Woods, for those that don't know, is... A lot of people talk about Little House on the Prairie. Little House on the Big Woods was pre-Little House on the Prairie. So, if you don't know any of the Laura Ingalls Wilder timelines, Little House on the Big Woods was the family before they moved to the Midwest. I forgot exactly where they moved, but they lived, I think, in... it's been forever since I've read the books. I think they lived in Minnesota or Michigan. I want to say Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin. But they lived up there. And Little House in the Big Woods, it is a book before Little House on the Prairie. And I remember reading it in 3rd grade, and I fell in love with the book. The book was so nice and so fun, and it was such a good story. It's crazy because in Little House on the Prairie, Mary, the oldest, is... In Little House on the Prairie, Mary is like a high school student. But in Little House in the Big Woods, she's a little girl, and Laura's the baby, which is crazy when you think about it. The third child that Pa and Mom have, she's not there yet. She comes in later. She either is there at the end of Little House in the Big Woods or at the beginning of Little House on the Prairie. But it's Laura's a baby. Like, Laura is a child, like a small toddler in Little House in the Big Woods. And then Mary's like, she's not old. She's like Laura's age in Little House in the Prairie. It's a great book. I love it. I would authorize that people read that book. It's so great. Mutiny and the HMS Bounty and Great Gatsby are all books. Yeah, I love reading that. Great Gatsby was one of my favorite books growing up, for sure. I like the different contrast of it and the internal fights people have with each other. Like, it really lets it, like, you really take a moment to stand back and analyze just what everybody in the Great Gatsby is going through. Like, you have Gatsby, who's like this bachelor, like, playboy guy who's super famous and everything, and then you have like the people he knows and the troubled relationships, and then, you know, the estranged marriage that the mechanic guy has with his wife, and fucking I forget who Gatsby's, I think, is it Emily? It's not Emily, it's I don't know, but like, she's driving the car because Gatsby wants to teach her how to drive, and she fucking hits the mechanic's wife, and then the mechanic goes into a rage and kills Gatsby. Like, oh my god, it's a great, like, it is so it's so like scenario twisting. Mutiny in the HMS Bounty is a lot of fun. That's a fun book in general. Being out in the open seas, you know, getting lost for a while, wondering if Captain Bligh is like the guy to lead the expedition, and then he gets I forgot the fucking guy that overthrew him was, but then Captain Bligh and the people that are still loyal to him are like casted out to sea, and like it's this fight for fucking survival on the ocean, and it's a fun book all around. I think that was 3, right? Yeah. Well, let's see. Who do you like to go to parties with? I do not go to parties. I do not go to parties at all. I don't go to raves. I don't go to clubs. I don't do that. I'm not good. I've never been good going in large groups anywhere with anybody. I would prefer to stay home or do small coupley things, especially if I'm dating someone. Like, let's go to the knick-knack store. Let's go to the antique store. Let's go to like a novelty store, something like that, a hobby store even. Like, I like those. I do not like going to parties. I dread being asked out to like. It doesn't happen often, but I dread being asked out to parties or clubs. Like, I remember one time a few of my softball buddies were like, oh, Corey, after the game tonight, we're all going to go to this place and, you know, eat some food and celebrate and all that stuff. And I think it was a holiday weekend, and I was just, I got really uncomfortable, and I was just like, no, I'm not made for one of these. Please leave me alone. So yeah, I'm not one for those. How's life? Now, this was a month ago. Mind you, this is 24 days ago. How's life? Well, back then, my truck is inoperable due to brake issues. By the way, my truck is still inoperable due to brake issues, so I cannot work. My laptop that was half crippled, I actually ended up getting the hard drive and everything off of it onto my sister's laptop, which she doesn't use because she has a PC, and I actually ended up junking the old laptop. So that I don't have anymore. And I want to collab with friends, but can't. I've been able to collab a few times with friends since then, so it's always been a blast. I think Hoovie's playing Fortnite right now or something else. But I'm taking a break from collabing with friends because I have stuff. Listen, the more I collab with friends, the more my stuff gets put on the backlog, and I'm trying to like get my uploading and recording back to normal, essentially. So, besides, like, you know, as much as I want to, you know, as much as I love collabing and everything with my friends, they have their own friends they can like play games with and stuff and too. Like, I don't want to always be in the limelight. I've learned that, from Hoovie at least that I'm a real thrill to be around. So that makes me smile. That makes me happy. But yeah. And I've collabed with other friends as well a couple of times since then. But I don't always like want to be first in line to do it because they also have other friends they could collab with and work with and be, you know, I don't want to be in the way of that. I just do it when I can. I think that was 5, right? Yeah. Question 6. How do I ask someone to go on a date that I already asked? That's okay. Okay, so this is kind of a curious question. It depends on the friendship prior to the asking. I feel like if you're good friends with this girl and you ask and she says no, don't be bitter. Don't be sour about it. Don't treat her any differently than how you already have. She may have had a reason to say no. So I think you should respect the reason she says no and wait a little while. Don't like ask her 1 week and then ask her the next week. No, you need to put like 3 to 5 weeks between like asking. And this is because if you ask and they say no, if you put in the same effort and or push a little effort to show them, hey, like I really am, like this isn't just a fling, I really am into you, please give me a chance. Then in the 3 to 5 weeks later when you ask again, she may actually say yes. She may reconsider. Now if the friend now, but don't give off the vibe that you're like a fuckboy or something. Like, be genuine to the person you like. Don't give off this vibe of, hey, like I want to date you, but like it's gonna be a casual, committed, you know, relationship. You know what you should do first? You should figure her out a little bit. You should figure out what she wants. If she wants something casual, then be casual. But if she wants something that, you know, wants long lasting, then absolutely try to work on that with her. And like, you know, obviously there's gonna be differing opinions between the person you're interested in and yourself. You know, just try to find a common medium, and hopefully it all works out. So. Yeah, that's kind of like my thing. That's question 6. Question 7. What is the biggest disadvantage of being in a relationship for you? I'm physically needy. Not so much like in the aspect of like lovemaking or sex or anything like that. I will not show it on the surface, but I'm a really clingy and huggy person. So if I'm not with him for a while, that's fine. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I think the relationship with my ex-wife fell apart was she lived in England and I live in LA. So it's kind of impressive we lasted as long as we did, considering we had never met. But how strong I was devoted and was to this girl. And the thing that sucks in my case is that I'm interested in like 3 to 4 people right now. that one of them I'm really good friends with, or two of them I'm really good friend. I'm like decent friends with, and then the other two they don't really know a whole lot about me, but I know a lot about them. So like, and it sucks because not one of them lives here in LA to my knowledge. I believe one lives in the Midwest, and I think one lives on the East Coast. The one of them that I am interested in does live here in California somewhere, but I think she lives up north, like up by Bakersfield or something like that, or up in Lancaster. She definitely lives a good bit away. And then the other person I'm interested in lives in Pennsylvania. So that's, you know, womp womp. I mean, oh, wait, no. I'm missing somebody. No, I'm sorry. The one that's on the East Coast, and not the one in Pennsylvania, lives up in Canada. I believe she lives in Quebec. I'm interested in her. But we don't talk as much as we used to. But I think it's because she's like doing her commission work and whatever and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like, and that's kind of the difficult thing about like me in general as a whole, is because I can't ever showcase how much like I can truly care and show genuine love to somebody because I'm never with them. Like talking over the internet versus me in person, I am completely different. When I'm talking online, I'm quirky, eccentric, you know, kind of like playful a little bit, everything, but then also kind of wise and a little bit guarded. IRL, if you knew me face to face, I definitely am. I'm like really showy. I'm like really supportive. I'm like super open minded. Like I'm like the IRL version of me is different, much different than the freaking what's it called? Than the like online flirty person of me would be. I don't remember what question that was. I think that's like 6 or 7. You seem really confident. Depends on the topic. I think this is question 8. Depends on the topic and what's going on. Actually, yeah, I don't have a lot of self-value or worth. Confidence, it's like racing games, I'm confident. Fortnite, Stardew Valley, I wasn't at first, now I am more confident. I'm a lot more confident now as I've been playing. Minecraft, I'm pretty decently confident. Cars, kind of. Sports, confident. Art, not confident at all. Writing, very confident. It just depends. I'm not confident in everything I do, though. I'm actually more or less really self-depreciative more than anything. Like, I'm one of the lowest self-esteemed people you will probably ever meet. So, yeah. Question 9. Is there something you don't get? I don't get society. People on social media that, like, complain and hate and shit talk piss me off. Like, you ever, like, see a post, like, NASCAR Twitter. NASCAR Twitter is the worst. I think NASCAR Twitter is worse than basketball Twitter, and basketball Twitter is fucking hella annoying. I see takes all the time on NASCAR Twitter that are just absolutely so like, you can tell these people are from the fucking southeast, like, where they share the same chromosomes, and that's not very many of them to begin with. And it's like, I'll see a post about a race recap, and it like shows, oh, do you remember this race and all that and this, that, or the other, and then like somebody in the comments will go, oh, but yeah, but I remember that happened during this race, and they like bring up what happened, and while it's true, they also fucking keep talking about, oh, you know, if NASCAR wasn't so fucking, you know, like fucking one-sided, you know, there wouldn't have been a penalty against that team if it was somebody else. And it's just like, bro, what the fuck? You're talking about a pit road speeding penalty in a race in 2014 that affected somebody from finishing top 5 and they finished like 12th. Like, what? Like, what the hell? Shut the hell up. Like, I hate these people. Absolutely angry. How can someone start talking to you? I reply to any DM. I do. I reply to all DMs to me. Discord, Twitter, Instagram. I reply anywhere because I don't have anything else better to do than to just monitor my phone all the time. I literally don't do much. I'm a hermit. So anytime I get a notification of any sort, I fucking reply or try to, depending on like if I feel it's a genuine like conversation or not. So yeah, anybody can just talk to me. It doesn't really matter. Just be nice and polite. I mean, but if people do insult me, I guess I'm kind of immune to like actual insults, unless if it isn't true, then it's just like, eh. You cool with dating someone that younger? Yes, I am. But I'm 31 now, so I have to be a little careful. I, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I don't care. I don't have a filter. As much as I would not mind dating someone younger, like 24, 25 years old, I kind of do like older women a little bit better. I would be more apt to date somebody who's 34 or 35 than 24 or 25. Dude, listen, hear me out. Some of these women that are single and in their mid 30s, go like approaching their 40s, they still look fucking good. And like, they look good and they mean business, and they like, whatever past relationship trauma they have, like, I like will happily try to fix that and be that person for you. So I don't mind. I have a good age spectrum, but it's like, I have a good age spectrum, but it's nothing too crazy. 10 under, 10 over, and this goes every time I, level up in life, I guess. I can't see myself turning 35 and dating someone who's like 22. I mean, unless if the relationship is super like, we're like just the fucking absolute soulmates of destiny, like, then I wouldn't mind dating somebody who's like a little over than 10 years younger than me, but I would prefer not to. My ex-wife is 10 years younger than me, I think. Yeah, she's it's 10/11. Half of the year she's 10 years younger than me, half the year I'm 11 years older than her. So yeah, but definitely want to be in this window for sure. And then, yeah, like I said, I tend to sway towards older women a little bit. So yeah, all right. I believe that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh-oh. Did I do 11 on accident? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I did do 11. Oh well. Womp womp.